We are live, Dad. How are you doing today?
Doing great. Had a great day. It's sunny. Have my health. Being positive and just focusing on what you call positive living.
This is quarantine. So we wanted to come on and just talk about how people are now getting back into action of working out again at gyms, which we don't know how we feel about that because it's going to take forever to do a workout, you know? And so what we're doing is how to stay positive and reset. And we want to hear from you guys. And then also talk about no excuses. What were you were really compelled to come on here, Dad, about talking to our audience?
Well, I think the worst thing you could do is sit on the couch and lay around, think about the past, think about the negative things, and just look out the window if it's raining, whatever, and not getting your body out and take action, because it's all about connecting your mind with the body. Because one time, this lockdown quarantine situation, you do have a lot of time to think because you're not around people, because I just miss people touching other people, like handshake, hugs, and everything, since you can't do that. But give your body that same satisfaction by exercising, getting out there, walk, doing push-up. You can also get incline rubber band. If you don't have weight, people say to me, well, you're lucky you have a home gym. I don't have a home gym, but the truth is you can improvise. You can get a rubber band, get a stick, like you're doing barbecue. You can do push-ups, you can do crunches, and stretching. Already what I just said, that's already a 20, 25-minute workout. But here's the whole key. Just get out, just do it. Because the more you think about it, the more you procrastinate, the more tired you're going to become thinking about it. Instead of thinking about something, do it. Because when you think about something much, as I say, you're going to be tired, and then you're going to feel frustrated. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it over the weekend. No, just get out and do it.
Nate has a great question. Nate Davis says, tips for beginners who are now getting into bodybuilding. Now that people have different goals and they want to get into bodybuilding after this, they want to reset. So during this quarantine, what would some tips be for beginning bodybuilders?
I would say don't think that, like, for example, Rome was not built in one day.
True.
I take one step at a time. When you're getting started with something, it's a very simple rule of thumb. It's like, for example, you go to school. They give you books you study on a weekly basis, and you get different tests, different examinations at different level. The same thing comes with training and bodybuilding. When you work out, doesn't mean that you have to work out 3 hours or 4 hours to make up, but it doesn't work that way, because the body only takes so much repetitions. Like, for example, you can only train so much. It's all about quality, it's not about quantity, and take a step at a time. But I always said my whole life, the whole secret, the whole key to this is consistency. You have to be consistent. You can't train on Saturday, then train next Friday, and then you go home, you stuff your face, and then you hate yourself that evening. It's all about consistency. When you're eating, you're sleeping, and you're exercising. Very simple. So consistency, a lot of people have a hard time with consistency because they feel like that somebody's being in control with themselves. Like, for example, people that come from a bad environment, that sometimes parents, they push food on them. They want to rebel. If they ever hear the word consistency, they want to rebel. They want to feel like I'm doing my way. I want to eat one big meal in the evening. I want to eat nothing for breakfast, maybe like a popsicle for lunch. It doesn't work like that, because you can't fool the body. The body is human nature, the way it is. And we were brought into this planet to eat normally, sleep normally, exercise normally.
Yeah. And this is a good time to really think about what you want, moving forward. Because a lot of people are like, we have no time. And now all we have is time. So wow, people are saying, well, you're 60, you're going to be 69 this year, right? But people are saying you're the best, but people think you're 70. So, or a Flynn. So people are graduating, right, Dad? And people are graduating from college. People are changing lifestyles. People are moving. This quarantine and COVID-19 has really changed people's thinking. What would you say to people that are down on themselves about not being able to socialize and celebrate graduations? Or what would you say to people that are shifting and resetting their lives right now?
Well, I would say for far as graduations, unfortunately, you can't attend. But be very thankful. We have Skype, we have Zoom, we have iPhone to communicate. And the good news about the lockdown, what I like about it is the fact that on the positive side, you have a lot of extra time.
Mhm.
You're not working, but use that time to exercise. How many times you talk to people, they say, well, I work 2 jobs. I would have time to train. I get home and my wife at home with the kid. I don't have time because I work 2 jobs. Now you don't have a job. Utilize that time to take care of your body. I mean, it's very simple because the truth is when you go back to work, you have a better frame of mind and you be more disciplined.
How would you, because people are like, oh, I need a hero in life. I need someone to look up to. You know, you had people you looked up to, but how did you become your own personal best hero? How did you become a hero for yourself? Because if you don't love yourself, I believe in life, how are you going to be there for other people?
Well, I
And be
learned the
positive?
hard way when I was very young. I had a love-hate relationship with my father, and I felt like I didn't want to have to carry his pain anymore because since when I was born, I lost a major part of my hearing. I had a severe speech impediment. So I kept hearing that voice in my head. He kept telling me, you're never going to be this, you'll never be a great athlete, you're hard of hearing, this and blah, blah, blah. And then you're only limited with certain things. I didn't like the word limited. So I stopped feeling sorry for myself. I decided to focus on myself to be the best I can be with myself because the whole key in life is maximizing your personal power. Be the best you can be. Now, this goes for everyone. If you're blind, if you're in the wheelchair, if you're obese, if you're out of shape, if you got a major problem, you can always correct the problem by maximizing your personal power and embrace your passion. Because if you have a passion about something, embrace it. That's what makes you rich. Like I can't compete with other people. I can't compete with for example, my whole life with Olympic athletes. But I found what's best for me because I like bodybuilding fitness because I thought I had great structure to go far. And to me, my passion because it made me feel good about myself. You have to find something because my whole life is about overcoming adversity. I still go through tough periods right now because a lot of people like to put labels on people. And you put labels on yourself if you let the naysay and put the labels on you if you believe them. If you're around negative people, I would suggest the fact that spend less time with them. You're not going to change negative people unless they change themselves. But the most important thing is that give yourself the satisfaction because when you have personal power, maximize your personal power, you can move mountains, you can do anything because we're here for a short time and we're not going to be here for another 500 years. So basically, take each day and be thankful for the fact that we have life and make the best out of your life.
This is great. Angela Hill said in 4 years, she went from 340 pounds to 170 pounds from whole food, plant-based diets. Isn't that true? Eating naturally. Like you don't eat. I asked you yesterday if you have ever eaten Taco Bell. No, you don't. He's never eaten Taco Bell. I personally love Taco Bell, but he doesn't eat Taco Bell because that is why it's all preservatives and crap in Taco Bell. Sorry, Taco Bell, but it's true. So how do you stay consistent? Because that's amazing, Angela. How do you stay consistent with not craving Taco Bell or craving McDonald's or any of that crap people put in their bodies?
It's all about that. If you eat properly, you have to exercise. If you don't exercise, you go on a diet to lose weight, and then the body can rebel. But if you exercise, and as you exercise, your body wants more protein. And the more protein you eat sparingly per each meal, at the same time, you feed the muscle with the protein, you want to starve the fat with eating natural carbohydrates and the low-fat diet. But some people like that, the high-fat diet. But the truth is, it's smart to stay away from unsaturated fats, like, for example, like heavy Thousand Island dressing. Like, I can't tell you how many times I go to a restaurant and I see these people sitting down before they order dinner. They have a martini and they bring the bowl and they have olive oil and they dunk the bread in the olive oil with the balsamic vinegar. That's 110 calories a tablespoon. You're talking about with the margarita and the bread, you're talking about 3,000 calories before you eat dinner. So when dinner's over, you're talking about maybe 5,000 calories. And then you go home, go to bed. I mean, it's your fault. It's not the food's fault because there's all this little hole in your face. It controls everything. That's why it's all about in the mind that everybody likes to have a cheat day, one cheat meal. But I really believe the fact that if you can't control yourself, there's nobody else to blame.
I also like to look at the menu before I go to the restaurant or I talk about it in the reset plan in the book, because then I feel more in control and I can talk to people. Because if I'm at a table with a business meeting or I'm trying to talk to people and then I just order really fast, I'll order what I like. And I won't take a moment for myself and go, what's good for me as opposed to what am I craving? Because what you're craving is not necessarily what you need to eat, especially if you're trying to be mindful with
Well,
food.
a big factor with that, don't let emotion get in your way when it comes to
Huge.
eating, training, exercise.
Mhm.
For example, if you're home and you're having maybe a big argument with a spouse or maybe with a kid and your day is not going as you planned, don't let that stop you from not exercising. There's no excuse. Like, for example,
More
I had a
excuses.
friend of mine years ago. I remember the fact that he had two parking tickets. And he went home. He was depressed because his mother yelled at him. And he went in the bathtub to take a bath. And he drank 7 bottles of beer.
Wow, in the
And the mother
bathtub.
walked in. She said, "What are you doing? You're drunk."
Maybe you should
But
move out with his mother.
but the fact that he took it personal, but he attacked himself instead of attacking the situation going forward, knowing that you're going to exercise, not going to delay or ruin your consistency of what you want to do.
Yep, because you're only harming yourself. So, what is your favorite muscle to train?
I like
Isn't it
training. I like
biceps?
training
He
bicep. I
loves
like to do
biceps.
chest presses.
Mhm.
But the way I train now, very consistent. I train like 35 minutes with weights. I do high repetition, 12 to 14 rep. Because many years ago I would train heavy. I trained the same as I trained like I did years ago, but much lighter. I train fat. I only do enough to stimulate the muscle to maintain what I have. And I do 35 minutes of cardio. You're talking about maybe like an hour, 15 minutes daily. But years ago, I trained heavy, but right now I have no intention of building muscle. It's all about maintaining what I have and keep the circulation going.
You know what, Angela, good for you. She said, Angela said that she was abused as a child and she didn't care for herself. That's why she gained the weight. And that is what I talk about a lot, is the self-love part, about feeling sabotaging. We talk about this a lot, Dad. Self-sabotage, not feeling like you're good enough. And so food becomes your friend. And then a lot of times you don't even care because you just feel so bad about yourself.
You just said you feel good enough. A lot of times they use that as a drug to ease up their tension, to escape. There's no way to escape. Years ago, I remember how many times people say, "I want to go on vacation." They go on vacation. They gain 15, 20 pounds, all the alcohol, all the booze and everything. They come home and have a heart attack. But it's all about not sabotaging yourself. One time I trained a woman many years ago. I remember I trained a lot of different people. And one girl came to me. She said she can't lose weight. So usually when I train people, I'm very successful. I demand the result. After about a month, I sat down and have a chat with her. And she started crying. She said, "I did everything you told me." So I said to myself, well, this is not going to last for a long time. So one day I surprised her. She pulled in front of my house. And I remember she opened the door of her car. I see all these donuts falling out of the car, going down the street. 2 boxes of Dunkin' Donuts. And I looked at the donuts and I looked at her and she started to cry. She said, "Well, my father was in the Holocaust and he forced me to get on the scale every day because he suffered in the Holocaust." And she said, "I was rebelling against him. And that's why I can't follow a diet." So when she talked about that emotional part about herself, everything changed. She lost weight. She hit a whole new plateau. It's huge at everything because a lot of time I have to do with the inside yourself. I mean, don't get me wrong, because some people, they may have a deep psychological problem. Maybe they've been more molested. Maybe they're men. Okay, you can get professional help. But you have to do that because you can't have food replace your pain with food because it's only to harm yourself. Same thing with drugs. People taking drugs, they take more drugs to feel better. They harm yourself. It's very simple. Anything excessively in life will harm yourself. Even if you take 1 aspirin, if you take 10 aspirin, if you want to take anti-inflammatory, if you take 10, 15 pills instead of 2 to feel better for the pain, you're going to cause a hole in your stomach. Very simple. But it's not easy for a lot of people. But the most important thing is you have to be aware of it and consistency. Be consistent. Don't blame anybody else. It's all about you taking action for yourself.
Yep, I agree. Because don't let people's negative opinions about you live in your brain rent free. Forget it. Say nice things about yourself. Lou, when you're the strongest man competition, did you get injured? Did you change your diet to prepare for that? The world's strongest man.
Well, the world's strongest man, when it happened, I jumped into the competition because I was filming the Incredible Hulk pilot at the same time, and they were filming at Universal Studios. And I remember I jumped in the competition for the weekend. I went back into the makeup on Monday. But when I did the steel bar bend, my shoulder had to be in the same set.
Really?
Because I wanted the steel bar bend because they had different awkward motions, especially when you bend the steel bar. It kind of like injured one of my tendons. I remember I had to do heavy incline presses. After that competition, I had to do incline presses at a lower angle to get around the pain and the ache. I think it's very tough in the body, but when you look at the guys today, it's phenomenal. The reason why I wanted to compete, because myself and Franco, I wanted to show the world that bodybuilders are strong as they look. Most bodybuilders, and professional, you have to be strong to build big muscles the way it is. Like the Olympic lifters, That's one of the toughest sports. So you got power lifters, Olympic lifters, and also you have bodybuilders doing the world's strongest man. I was very happy to come forth. I went to an event, the car lift and the steel bar bend, which I didn't train for. Most of the guys did train for it. So I surprised myself. I'm glad I did it.
That's awesome. Yeah. Anything else that you want to talk to our audience about? We talk about resetting the mind, not going to the fridge. It's not your best friend. And we are going, once this is over, going into people's homes all over the world and America to start with and helping reset themselves.
I think every one of us should have a vision of
Yeah,
what you want to do in life.
I agree.
And for example, I had a vision growing up. I always saw myself as being a bodybuilder champion. But I had other visions I wanted to do, because, for example, because I know I can't compete forever. But beyond that, being successful as a businessman, successful with different things in life. Because when you have a positive vision, if you keep thinking about it, focus in that direction. Because so many young people today don't have a vision. They just, they may go to college, they may have to get a piece of paper, and they don't know what they want to do with their life. Because I knew I had a passion when I was young, because when I was young, I was told that I should be a sheet metal worker, which I studied 4 years apprenticeship. I could be a machinist, I could be this. But deep inside of me, I didn't like it. I didn't want to be that, but I only did it to please my parents. There was always a scared feeling inside of me saying, when I get older, what am I supposed to do? What can I do? But I just realized the fact that how much I loved bodybuilding. I read the magazines, like at the time we had Joe Reed, he brought people to California to train, to compete. To me, that's what my vision kept, I seeing myself doing, even though being distracted. But you know, when you have a vision, if you want to do, be very successful, and you have to do whatever it takes to have that vision.
And it's okay to reset that vision. Like there's a lot of times where I have a vision that I want one thing, and then I realize that I don't, like you said, it doesn't feel good to have that vision and those goals that I'm going towards. So how do you reset your vision if you feel as though you're losing sight of that vision?
Well, a lot of people have fear inside of themselves.
Right.
And they have that vision, but the fear inside of them tell them that they're incapable of attaining that vision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, some people get involved in a relationship. They have 5 relationships. They're married 5 times. They blame the woman. It's not the woman being married 5 times. It's you. It's yourself, because the fact that you have to take action. But the thing is that negative voice, for example, that fear inside you. Sometimes that fear inside of you, that vision, that's the vision you want to take. That's the vision that you want to focus on. Like, for example, I just mentioned before, I always have that scared vision inside of me that if I became a world champion bodybuilder, what if I can't make money? What if I'm on the beach in California? But the other visions I have, I was told by other people, be this, be successful. But because when it came to the time, I embraced that passion to have the vision in bodybuilding, and changed everything. Because, I mean, I wouldn't be what I am if I focused on my vision. A lot of times I recommend to people, write down all your fears on a piece of paper that you're afraid of, all the things that you want to do. When I'm saying to do this, don't think about it, say, wait. I mean, you're alone in the room by yourself. You get a pen and paper, just write down, I don't care what it is. You don't have to show anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You can put it in a safe, you can put it in a lockbox somewhere. But write down all those different things and look at it a week or 2 weeks later and really review and look at them carefully. And you'd be surprised something's going to pop up in your mind. The light bulb's going to go on and say, that's what I want.
Mm-hmm. So what's your thoughts on hot and cold therapy after training session? Do you do hot or cold therapy? Like, I've done cryotherapy and it's helped. We both have knee issues.
I did cryotherapy, but you know
God,
but you know what I did? I was lucky to be somewhere. A friend of mine took me to cryotherapy. You sit in there for 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
It was kind of interesting. But I was fortunate enough to have a massage therapist that as soon as I finished the cryotherapy, I went straight to the table. I got an hour massage.
That's great. Well, that's the heat. That's the cold and the hot.
But cryotherapy is interesting because it's like a shock to the body.
Try it all. I say try it all. And then Texas Honcho says he's a former bodybuilder looking for a hip replacement. Do you talk about your hips? You had 2 hips and 2 hip knees replaced. What was the hardest to get through?
The knees was the hardest because it'll come down to finding the best doctor. And you have to be in decent shape, because if you're way out of shape, I have a hip replacement. I would suggest before the hip replacement, 3 months before, embark upon a routine exercise, a routine way to get in the best shape you can before the surgery. Because if you don't do it, you're going to be laboring day and night around the surgery. I've seen people sometimes take 1.5 years after hip surgery to try and walk normal and have no pain. The better shape you are before and the right doctor, you're better off. But get different opinions, talk to different people that have had hip surgery that are successful. Because many years ago, I was in the same situation because I was nervous about having it done because Jack Lane's done to me, get it done. I was like 53 at the time. And I said, Jack, I said, I'm phone 53. People have knee replacement like when they're 75, 80. But the reason why I'm saying this because when I came back to bodybuilder, I wore my joints out. I used to squat with 650. I used to bench 560. But I did it because I love the sport. But the fact that if they were able to fix it today, I'd have no pain today. But the thing is, like I said, be smart about yourself, be in good shape, and make sure you choose the right doctor and get people's opinion before you jump on the table and make any mistake.
Any last words for everybody? Thank you guys for being here. Yeah.
And Sean and I speak from the heart. And that's why I'm glad I'm doing this because you can read the book day and night because I lived that whole lifestyle. I mean, I've incurred every injury. I've done every exercise known to mankind. People come from all over the world to train with me because they've had trainers before they were injured. But I live that kind of life. But the secret of all theater is listen to your body and tell what your body wants to do. Connect your mind with your body. It can't go wrong. God bless you.
God bless you guys. Check out the reset plan. Make sure you follow us. We're going to do these a lot. And yeah, thanks for being here. I hope you guys got something out of it. Bye. See?